Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Wormington. I'm a research faculty at the Center for Creative Leadership.
And I'm Kate Snyder. I'm an associate professor of psychology at Hanover College.
And we were lucky enough to be guest editors on a special issue for Gifted Child Quarterly called it's a special issue on underachievement and achievement motivation. And we are joined by two of the authors of a fantastic article that is in that special issue, Carlton Fong and Kristen Kremer. And we get to ask them some questions today about the work that they did. So let me start us off by asking, what's one thing that you really want people to know about what you found in your study?
Well, one thing that I was really fascinated by refers to the motivational correlates for underachievement. And so we use the expectancy value theory, and one of those variables is attainment value. So how much the student identifies with mathematics, for instance, which was the subject for our study. And we actually found that attainment value was a negative predictor for math underachievement, controlling for all the other EBT variables. And so we thought that was just a really cool finding, that the more students can identify with math, how math is central to that student's identity, then the less likely they were to underachieve in math. And so we were really kind of stoked about that.
Okay. And so if you think about underachievement in general, what do we know from your article that's new for underachievement? So kind of speak to the underachievement researchers here.
Yeah, I think the way we conceptualized our underachievement variable was a little different than kind of how the field has in the past. So I'll turn it over to Kristen to kind of talk about how we did that.
So the main thing the study adds is it looks at underachievement on a continuum. So rather than saying yes or no, this student is an underachiever, we looked at their grade 9 standardized math test scores from the fall and regressed them on their final math grade from the spring in their math course to see did students have math grades based on what we predicted from their test scores. So we obtained predicted values, and then we looked at the discrepancy between their final math course grade that they obtained and what we predicted. And we standardized the units, so we had whether or not the level of underachievement based on the predicted value.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think this continuous way of operationalizing underachievement is really useful for research, because you really get to understand that nuance of kind of the degree of underachievement rather than just some cutoff value. And I think for practice too, as schools and as administrators try to identify underachieving students, I think this is a more targeted measure.
Perfect. And you mentioned that you use expectancy value theory to guide your work. What's something that you think your work helps to inform within expectancy value theory and motivation research more generally?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for starters is we don't really know much about EBT in relation to underachieving students. I think there are some studies out there, but I think this adds to our knowledge of, okay, what are some of the expectancy value beliefs that are related to students underachievement? And we find that attainment value is really salient, even though the field kind of has been gravitating more towards utility value and intrinsic value. I think there's this, attainment value that could be overlooked, and we see that it's really important for underachieving students. I also think that interactions between expectancy and value beliefs aren't fully explored yet, and we encourage more of that. We added that in our study, and we do find some interaction effects with intrinsic value and with self-efficacy or expectancy. So we are seeing some of these effects in underachievement, but that definitely needs to be unpacked further as well.
Great. Well, this is a fun discussion. I would encourage everyone to find their full article and read it. You can find the whole special issue on Gifted Child Quarterly's website, and we hope you enjoyed this discussion.